There's one shot where I'm kind of kneeling over and everybody's over on top of me.
Yeah.
And you've got about 7 to 8 different dudes with AKs,
Yeah.
Uzis. I mean, all pointing at me.
Yeah.
The camera. And they're real.
Yeah.
They're, we're
And there was no
about,
briefing beforehand.
absolutely not. And
Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Agnelli, here with my co-host, Peter Price.
You.
And our guest today, Caleb Fernandez.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Yes, thank you guys for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. Your support means the world to us, and we're going to continue to grow the brand. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Caleb, I've known you for 10 minutes, but you seem like a pretty good guy. Yeah, I love your energy off rip, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Have you always been just a positive, happy-go-lucky guy?
Well, I try,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, there's enough bad vibes in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Why add to it?
Yeah,
exactly.
Seriously, there's enough of that shit.
Yeah.
Totally.
Dude.
Now, to kind of jump into the career aspect of what you do, what do you do? I know you shoot videos and you edit, but kind of give a layman's breakdown of what you do.
Well, I own and run my own video production company. We service all of South Florida. We even travel if need be. But we shoot music videos, commercials, weddings, promos, you name it. Everything besides porn. Don't ask me that shit, bro. Don't ask me
Have
that
you got people
question.
hit you up for like OnlyFans and shit like that?
I've had a couple actually.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not. And it's like, no.
Did you consider? Did you consider a little
I
bit?
don't know. Is the money there?
I think the money's there, man. The money's there.
I mean, granted, some of these girls or guys are making a lot.
Yeah, right?
I don't know,
Do you have like a specialty or a niche that you guys cater to, or you really just all over?
Yo, honestly, bro, I love short films. I
Yeah?
love short films.
And
I
what is a
love
short film?
narrative.
5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
granted, give it 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Got a
Mhm.
narrative. You're just putting something, super dope and crazy together.
Like skits, generally? Like what? Do you
Well,
have an
it
example
depends.
of one that we might have like seen or something?
Like a wedding video?
No, more short films. They consist of a story.
Okay.
Yeah.
A plot, maybe a problem that with the main character or something. Just anything that really comes to mind. It could even be a documentary.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Where you've got your voiceover.
Yeah,
and
right,
go
right.
crazy into anything else really that you can.
And
just
it's your production company.
Right.
Now you shoot, edit, produce everything,
the
or do you
the whole spiel, man.
And
you need to wear many hats.
do you have people that you sub that out to, or are you okay?
Yeah. So I subcontract a lot of work out. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, I've got a team down south that I work with a lot as well.
Okay.
But usually most of the time it's just me, man.
Okay. And when did you get into it? How did you get into it?
So at the age of 8, I
Uh-huh.
was 7 turning 8.
Yeah.
I looked at my dad. I'm like, Dad, I want a camera. So he goes ahead and buys me this little like Handycam Sony,
Yeah.
like 720. I'm not even 720. I think like 480p camera.
This is a digital camera though.
It was digital, but
Okay.
man,
Yeah.
it was
Old school.
Yeah, old school. So, dude, honestly, I've held a camera in my hand ever since I was 8, and
Damn.
I've just always wanted to, entertain people. How do you say it? Just-
Capture moments?
Yeah, create, bro. I just
Yeah.
want to be a creator, and that's really my thing. Art is a big thing for me.
When did you turn that into a profession?
I was turning 19,
Okay.
so 18 I graduated high school, and I'm sitting here working at a dead end job at a gym, and I'm like, dude, I need to do something with my
Yeah.
life. College isn't really the way to go for me, at least in my field. At least what I think, right?
Yeah.
Other people might have a different opinion, but
Sure.
for me, I just want to go out and make something for myself. Work for my own,
Yeah.
Be my own boss.
Mhm.
I don't want to work for anybody else, man.
Yeah.
That's not.
And why
that's
is
not
that? Because I'm the same way, but what is your reason for that?
I want to make a name for myself. I don't want to
Yeah.
be helping another dude become more rich or
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
I want to create my own my own establishment, my own living. Something for maybe my kids in the future to pick up on.
Yeah.
That's just my mindset, man.
Yeah.
I
You
just
know
wanna-
you've got it in you to build something great. Why build it for somebody else?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They've already established themselves. Let me do something for me, man.
Yeah,
Let me
man.
try it.
And that's why I love the capitalist economy that we live in, in that
Right.
free world sense where if like you want to create and do something, do it.
Yeah.
Like there's
Right.
nothing stopping
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now you were 19, you decided, okay, this dead end job is not for me. I'm going to go down an avenue of pursuing my passion.
Mm-hmm.
What was the next step?
Just keep going, honestly.
Yeah.
I ran across another producer. I'm not going to name anybody,
Yeah.
but I came across somebody on set while I was shooting BTS. They were shooting the actual commercial for the promo,
Mhm.
and him and I just hit it off. He needed
Yeah.
some additional footage and I had the equipment
There,
for it. Yeah, there, and it kind of just hit off from there. He kind of became my
mentor.
Yep. More of a mentor, guided me through it, helped me learn, start a business and whatnot. I thank him all day. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just started from there, man. Sometimes the bird gotta fall from the tree and,
No, that
leave the
makes
nest
sense,
and
man.
keep it going, man. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
I find that a lot of these people who are the most successful, they kind of just start by just putting one foot in front of the other, and they know they're gonna fucking fall from the tree, and they know they're gonna fuck up, but it's just a matter of starting, and a lot of these people have paralysis analysis where they find the 10,000 different things that could go wrong, or the 10,000 different things that why they shouldn't start, when they could just start by getting a camera and start shooting film,
or anything in general.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a camera. It could be anything in life, man.
Right.
You can start your own real estate company, your own whatever, bro. NFTs are the thing now. People are doing that shit. That's super crazy.
Yeah.
For me, it was like a leap of faith. There was no thought put into it. I was just like, this is what I want to do, and this is what that's
Start
it.
taking steps towards it.
Yeah, I've had so many conversations with my parents about it.
And you talk about creating a story now. So is your passion in the whole thing, or do you really like the editing and production part of creating that story, and then the shooting is kind of the work, or is it all kind of equally as passionate?
Everything's a passion.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's weeks where I'm like, all I want to do is shoot, and then there's other weeks where I just want to stay inside and edit.
Yeah.
But all of it is a part of
the process,
the entire thing itself.
Yeah.
It's all the creative process. There's passion needing to be involved with everything, because if you lack in one part, then the other part's not gonna be able to pick it up.
No,
it's not.
What was your first breakthrough gig or job that you signed? Do you have one that comes to mind?
Oh man,
where you're like, this is it, I'm actually doing it?
I would have to say maybe last year, actually.
Okay.
I moved out of the house for a couple of months, and I said, I got to do it on my own.
Yeah.
So I went out of my way. I've networked with a couple of people. The first big one I would say was Revolt TV. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them.
Okay.
It's Diddy's company.
Okay.
Revolt on YouTube. You guys, whatever. We shot a couple of sit-down interviews.
Okay.
And Lil Duval, the City Girls, Uzi even showed up.
Wow.
Those kind of people. That was a breakthrough moment as well.
So you're running the show when these people show up?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm definitely not running the show, but I was definitely a part of a bigger production where it then led to more productions.
Okay.
Networking.
Sure.
That's really what it came down to.
Pete tells me that you shoot a decent amount of music videos now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how is that?
It can be either good or bad depending on the music. But some big artists that I've worked with. We did a couple for Diddy. We did a couple for, Florida. Oh my God. Florida. Hello. Yeah. So I did a couple of productions for him as well.
Okay.
But music videos, man, it can be a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'll get the SoundCloud rappers,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you'll actually get the guys that you'll be hearing on the radio. It all
So
depends.
I've been wanting to ask someone that shoots music videos this question for a long time. Because in the tattoo studio, I play YouTube rap music videos all day long, as you know, you've seen.
Yep.
And 90% of those videos, there's guns being waved at the camera the whole time, dozens of them, And I'm always curious, is there like a powwow before the shoot saying, all right, boys, like, I see everyone brought their sticks. Like, can you just show me they're all unloaded before you point them at me?
Oh, bro.
Or is it just like, hopefully these guys have good trigger discipline?
Let me tell you the first time something like that has happened to me.
Talk to me.
It was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It was one of my first grungy street hip hop music video. I've got my 16-year-old brother behind me, helping me out.
Yeah.
Just stay behind me.
There's one shot where I'm kind of kneeling over and everybody's over on top of me.
Yeah.
And you've got about 7 to 8 different dudes with AKs,
Yeah.
Uzis. I mean, all pointing at me.
Yeah.
The camera. and they're real.
Yeah.
They're, you know, we're
And there was no
about,
briefing beforehand.
absolutely not. And
Yeah.
I even asked the artist, I'm like, can I make sure that all the clips are empty and everything is they just jumped right into it.
Right.
Me not knowing much, I'm just like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Right.
Not the safest thing to do, obviously, but that was.
But there isn't like, so I guess there isn't a protocol as for you, at least when it comes to that.
No,
like
there is.
I was gonna say he probably learned his lesson.
There is 100% a protocol, especially after what happened with what's his name not too recently.
Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, come on, man. Like gun safety is a huge thing.
Yeah.
You know. Like
so now you go to shoot a video, you show up, there's a bunch of sticks everywhere. You're gonna ask, can I see that they're
honestly,
unloaded?
at this point, I don't even mess with that kind of
music.
I don't really like doing that kind of stuff, man. Not unless they're prop guns.
For that reason?
Yeah, I mean, dude, anything could happen.
Exactly.
Anything can
Absolutely.
happen. At that point in time, when I'm shooting these other guys, there was like 8 to 9 different guns pointed at my face.
Way.
And me being however old I was, 19, 20, just not thinking,
Yeah.
this shit is dope, man.
It's gonna look fire.
No, man.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Shit's dangerous.
It's not,
So when you shoot a music video, is the song just playing on repeat in the background the entire time?
I get into this whole zone. I mean, we just recently shot one last Saturday,
Yeah.
and I was gonna actually go back to the whole hip hop thing, where I want to start getting away from that because we just recently shot a rock song the other day, and I absolutely love it because there's a storyline, there's a narrative.
Yeah.
So with that being said, yes, I get into this whole zone where like my face is like boom, and I'm just replaying the song and I'm replaying the shots in my head. Of course, you got the storyboard and all the planning involved on paper, but nothing beats just being into that zone. So once you get on set, you're not wasting time, and you're just going right to work. So I get in the zone. I wake up. I play the song constantly throughout the day, just so I can get in the mood, get the shots right. And that's really about it.
But as you're actually shooting it, is it playing on like a speaker in the background so they're lip singing to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
you're playing it out loud.
Okay.
You can sync the camera, just like how you clapped in the
Yeah.
Same exact thing. You're syncing all the audio and their lip syncs. Yep.
Yep. Now, who was your favorite, I guess you could say, celebrity to meet?
Oh, who's my favorite celebrity to meet? Oh, man. I don't know. I guess Flowrider was
really dope.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was dope, bro.
Yeah.
Like he came up on set and he treated everybody nicely.
Yeah.
He came up to me. He knew my name by the end of the day, which is pretty
That's
cool.
cool, yeah.
Shook his hand. He said, "What's up?" And he kept his day going. And
That's
we
good.
just worked, bro.
It's always nice when like a celebrity you realize they're like kind of a normal person, or like they at least act like a normal person in real life.
Well,
I was thinking about this the other day. It's really trippy because we're all just normal ass people, and some people either get viral overnight or they get a break, or they just never quit, and they get to this moment where they're now famous, but we're all just fucking normal people.
Right.
Some people just have that
we
stage.
tend to forget that sometimes with everybody. It's like you look at everyday lives, bro. Like he's bro, he eats, sleeps, and shits just like you, man. Like you forget sometimes.
But it's nice when they act like
exactly,
they
like their
shit.
ego.
Right.
Yeah.
Like too many times I think you get to that point and then you play that role, where you think I've got more money than everyone, I'm more famous than everyone, so I gotta act like this, I love when a dude just acts like a fucking normal.
You know how it
dude.
is down in South Florida. Egos are everywhere.
Everything.
Yeah, you don't even have
Left
to
and
have the
right.
money or the fame, and you'll still act like you got it.
Exactly, and it's
Yeah.
like, dude, come on, man. Like
What
we're
are
all
we
the
doing?
same. We're all the same.
Do you ever show up to a shoot? Doesn't have to be a music video where you're just not clicking with whoever you're shooting. You're like, this isn't a good pair.
Absolutely. There have been so many moments where the client would either, or maybe the manager, whoever, is just like, in the back, just chirping and like, come on, man, let me do my job. Don't sit here and micromanage me. I know what I'm doing. You hired me for a reason, right? And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And so how does that usually go? Like when you get booked for, we'll say a music video again, but like, do they have a storyline in mind that they want you to execute, or is it like, Caleb, listen to the song and run with it?
Kind of basically.
Yeah, you
Majority
come
of
up with the storyline for the video yourself.
Yep. Majority of the time, they kind of just send me the song. They say, "Hey, what do you think about this? Tell me what you come up with.
What's your vision for it?
And then let's run with it."
That's kind of fire.
So do you show up with props and stuff like that?
Yeah, if it depends.
Yeah.
Shit. The last music video, the rock song we shot last weekend, dude, we had a 15-foot bonfire.
Really?
Barrels on fire, rope. I mean, because it was supposed to set in an apocalyptic state.
Yeah.
So, we had a lot of props on set, guns, but everything was cleared, obviously, But yeah, man, it all depends.
And do you give them like a budget for that? Like, how does that
Of
work?
course, yeah. They tell me what they want, and I'll be like, all right, so it's gonna cost X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
And that's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes these guys come up to me and they're like, yo, I got $300 on one.
Yeah.
Big booty bitches and Lamborghinis and all this jewelry and money. I'm like, no. No, it's not happening.
You know what's interesting too behind that thought process of like flexing stuff, whether it's guns, money, big booty bitches, it's like, what's the relatability of that? And like, why? I get that obviously there's some part of society that fiends for that, but like, I've never looked at that and be like, I relate,
I think it's just a part of the culture.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
And we talk about that a lot, like especially with rap culture. It's like, I really feel like we're getting year by year over where it's like the better rappers are singing more relatable stuff. And like these rappers, if you want to talk about like hard trap rap, like I don't live that lifestyle, so it's hard for me to relate to that,
Right.
Yeah.
And
it goes both ways, I think, though.
Well, you're a good proponent too, because you listen to a lot of the
right. I listen to a lot of that shit, and it's not that I live that life anymore either. But I also I have an understanding of that life, and I know what they're saying, and I know that I can appreciate when I know that they live that life, even if I don't, and I know that they're rapping about real things that are relatable to their life, even if it doesn't relate to mine.
But you say that word appreciate, like, and I'm not saying you appreciate like shooting up, gangs and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's literally what they're singing about, So like how...
Yeah. I'm not saying I appreciate the acts that they're committing, but I can appreciate their form of expression for showing the stuff that they've seen in their life.
I would say rather than putting up a front and acting like you came from, the trenches...
When a guy actually did, and he can put that into a cool story that rhymes, that's impressive, and I can appreciate that. Right. I'm not saying I appreciate him shooting people's houses, but wow, he's told that story beautifully,
Right.
My dog. I don't know.
Can we tell the story about, am I saying right, Giro 10K?
Giro 10K, yeah. So it's a perfect example because, dude, I'm such like a fan of the rap culture where like, you know me, anyone that I listen to, I can tell you their whole backstory, how much prison time they've done, their charges and shit. The case that they're currently fighting. And I don't know, I get very into it, you know? So when I'm at the tattoo shop and I'm playing these videos and someone will be like, damn, this song's fire. I'll be like, oh, this is Guerrero 10K. He just killed 4 people. He's probably never going to get out again. I'm glad you like this song, but you'll never hear another one. And, like, I say the same shit over and over again because I like study these guys a little bit. And it's not that I actually study them, but I listen to them so much and they're telling stories in every song that I start to understand the stories, and you start to, I don't know, it's not like I can relate to what they're doing, but I have some sort of bond with these rappers, I listen to them all day.
Well, so me and Peter are chopping it up like a month ago, and we're talking about Guerrero 10K.
Guerrero 10K. We're saying it like gringos. It's really like Guerrero
10K. And so me and Peter are talking, and he tells me that he sends Guerrero 10K $40 to his
So Guerrero's locked up right now, right? He's in prison, but he also has a fucking phone because he keeps posting stories for him in prison on his phone. He just posted a music video. I sent it to you. He posted a music video that he made on his fucking phone in prison, and it's kind of fire for being a prison music video.
He's really living that life.
It's pretty fire, man. But he was posting some shit. I forget what he even posted that made me respond to him. But I responded. I was like, damn, bro. Like, I really fuck with your music, man. I think I even said, like, hope you beat this case. It's like 4 murders or something.
Like that. He obviously did.
He definitely did it. Maybe I shouldn't have said I hope you beat the case. But whatever. I want it to work out for the guy. And, I was like, man, I hope everything works out for you, dog. If I can do anything for you, let me know.
Holy shit.
And I think I'm just used to saying things like that to people. If I can help you in any way, just let me know.
Right.
And he was like, dog, to be honest, like, if you could put $20 on my books, dude, for commissary, it'd be fire. And, okay, I'm not...
Pete fucking sends him the $20!
Hear me out. I'm not a lick either, though, bro. It's not like...
I'm not saying he's licking.
Is that legal?
No, he's not supposed to have a phone in prison, for sure.
So,
but... I also, if I didn't know for sure it was him on the other end of the phone, I wouldn't just like send someone $20 because they were like, hey, I'm in prison, send me $20. Because my instant thought would be like, this is a fucking scam. This is just someone on his account, like, finessing his fans.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'd been following this account from, like, before he was in prison and watching it the whole time he was in prison and being like, damn, this kid really has a fucking iPhone in prison.
Yeah.
And then finally, he caught me at the right moment, bro. I probably had a couple glasses of wine or something. I was like, yeah, go ahead, dog. I'm gonna send you $20, bro. Fuck it. And yeah, so I sent him $20.
Hey, free my
Hopefully he made some fucking
Bro,
goulash
I
that
don't
night.
even- I don't even know what to say about that.
Pete's a
Free ground.
Pete was sending messages like, I know you didn't do it, bro. I'm on your side.
So funny.
Bet.
Yeah.
Oh,
So free my dog, seriously. How did y'all link up originally?
Paintball.
bro, paintball.
Yeah.
Did you
Paintball.
play paintball?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
still do right
Okay,
now. Man.
okay.
I got practice on Sunday. Ready to go, baby.
And,
Me,
is that-
me and Poppy just talked this morning. He wants to make a comeback.
He's supposed to be coming out Sunday.
Good, we'll see.
and what is that? Just a straight hobby for you, or is
Yeah,
it?
bro, it's my getaway.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
my getaway, dude. You got to get away from all the stress. Like when you own and run a video production company or a company in general,
Yeah.
as you both know, dude. Sometimes you just need to get away.
Yeah.
You need to get away. Yeah.
And you guys are on the same team together?
Oh yeah.
Palm Beach Reckless, baby. Shout out.
Yeah.
And do you still do these travel tournaments and whatnot with the team?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Now, Pete told me you shoot these tournaments as well.
I used to.
Okay.
It's been about like 3 years since I shot paintball, man. It's been a long time. but
Yeah.
Were
that
you
shit
working
was
with
so much fun.
NXL or what was the league that you were shooting with?
I was actually with Social Paintball at first.
SPL.
Yeah, SPL, and then we went to HK Army.
Mm.
We were jumping all over the place because
Yeah.
it was me and a group of guys that we did it a lot. That shit was so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
Traveling and shooting paintball, you
Yeah.
see everything, bro.
What do you mean by that?
Everything.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
You just see some crazy ass shit, man.
Yeah.
Some
Does
crazy
it even
shit.
hurt? Or is the adrenaline running so much when you get hit by a paintball that you just kind of like put your
I
gun-
mean, when you're on the sidelines filming, yeah, that shit
Yeah.
fucking hurts, bro. Because like you're not playing, so
Yeah.
your adrenaline's not pumping. You're just sitting
Yeah.
there with a camera and, and you're getting hit, and it's
Yeah,
You
like,
get shot a lot as
ow.
the cameraman, don't you?
Oh my god, it was insane. Yeah, because
Really?
I put myself in positions to get fucking shot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
but-
a funny thing to think about, right? Like you're getting shot with paintballs and you're not even playing.
Not
That
playing.
sucks.
No,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
garbage. Yeah, but I mean, it was super.
Yeah.
It was super fun though. At the end of the day, bro. Especially when you come home and you see the sick ass footage you get. dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Was
my
there ever
God.
fights that broke out because of this? Like, say
Oh,
you shoot a
yeah.
guy, or you know,
Plenty,
like
plenty.
really?
bro? I mean,
Shit
like,
gets heated sometimes.
Really?
yeah. I'm a little hothead myself.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, bro.
I think
Like,
especially too, like when all that adrenaline's involved,
Yeah.
and then like there's also pain involved. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes that like flips a switch in people that
Yeah.
wouldn't normally spaz like that.
yeah,
but
it's like it's the pain.
a lot of emotions
It's like
going on.
when you get hit and you're already like you're on edge.
Yeah.
It just if you know.
it's short fuse.
Yeah, easily, dude. It's
Does it ever happen where you shoot someone and like they don't put their gun up and they try to like?
course.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh,
All
God,
those
these cheaters.
wipers.
Yeah.
Cheaters.
Cheaters, man.
Now,
Cheaters.
on more of a personal sense, you said you moved out, you got your own place. Where do you live now?
Oh no. Okay, so I was currently right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
last year I did move out for a couple of months.
Okay.
You know, something went down, came back in with the parents. So this
Mm.
year the goal is, you know, either to buy a house or
Yeah,
just move out in general.
Yeah,
I
your own
really
place.
want to buy a house, man.
Okay.
Really
Is that the
wanna
goal to buy
a house.
something?
Yeah. I want to
Yeah.
own. I want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get into. I want to get into properties. you know,
Exactly.
property
And
management
you don't
stuff.
stay in the Palm Beach Gardens area. Where do you live?
No, dude, I'm in Pines. Hour and a
Really?
half drive, bro.
Wow.
That was an hour and a half drive here, man.
You plan on staying around there?
Yeah, you know the Coral Springs area is
Yeah.
probably where I want to move up to.
Mhm.
West,
But-
it's like what 595 you take out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
75. All that
Now-
good stuff.
Are you single?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
yeah.
mingling?
Yeah, I'm keeping my head down. Last relationship didn't really go down, you know, hard or easy. If
Okay.
that makes any sense. Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just wasn't easy.
Okay.
It wasn't easy at all. So kind of fucked me up a little bit,
Yep.
but I'm keeping my head down right now.
Yeah.
Just mind my
Focusing
own
on the business?
bro. Yeah, mind my own business.
Sometimes
bro.
that's when something just appears out of nowhere,
That's it.
you know.
That's it.
When you shoot this footage and you get this raw emotion, is it hard to cultivate that into something that's in your mind? You know, like you have this picture of what
Right.
you want to put together, and then you shoot it, and you're watching it back, and is it hard to put this whole this whole art canvas together? You know?
You know, sometimes it doesn't come out the way you want it to.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it does.
Yeah.
And then that's the rush that you get from it.
Yeah.
Especially while you're shooting it. Like for me, I'll go apeshit crazy, especially with music videos. Like if the shot is coming out exactly how I want it to, you'll hear me behind the camera, whoa, just screaming and shit, bro. Because like I'm just so hyped about it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a great thing. So that's you know one of the things that I look for when it comes to shooting.
Yep.
You get that rush from when I'm putting everything that's up here
Yeah.
onto film,
Yeah.
dude. Like it's
When your
amazing.
cameraman's yelling behind the camera, you know
Yeah.
he must be making some fire shit back there. I'll do the same thing while I'm tattooing. I'll like go to wipe it clean. I'm like,
Yeah.
He's done that
God
shit on my
damn.
arm a couple of
Yeah.
times. Pete's like, woo, boy, this shit is nice.
This is gonna be fine.
What's your favorite music to listen to?
You know, I'm all over the place, but you know, as of recent, it's been a lot of rock. There's
Okay.
this new style that came out. It's called funk. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
No.
It's like,
Funk.
Like MGK type vibes?
nah, dude, I don't know how to explain it, man. It is some. I gotta show you after, but
Yeah.
it is some crazy shit.
Bet.
It's different. I like it a lot.
So we talked about music videos a lot, but like, what would you do? You have like a, I don't know what you would say, like genre of things you like to shoot the best? Like, do you like weddings more than music videos, or like what was your favorite thing to shoot?
Dude, like honestly, it all depends because the year has seasons. You know,
Yeah.
throughout the entire year, you have your music video seasons and you have your weddings. Usually, your weddings are during the winter. Your music videos are during the summer when you know it's hot out and people
We
fucking
outside.
shoot. I guess,
Yeah.
you know. But it all depends, bro. It
Yeah.
really all depends. Like last year, the end of you know, towards the last couple of months, weddings have been my thing. I've shot over like 20 weddings
Really?
Damn.
from the last, you know, past 4 months. Dude.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of burnt out on
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm not,
yeah.
like,
So it's nice to have a rotation, I guess.
right?
then.
Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
it fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, from weddings to short films, we do a lot. I do a lot of corporate work as well.
Mm.
But yeah, man, it's good to stay fresh, stay on your toes a little bit, because once you start getting into like the same thing, it's like, all right,
It gets
man,
repetitive.
Do you ever get nervous that you have like 12 hours of footage on this little SD card and that SD card
Oh,
can
bro,
go
I
poof?
So
have,
fragile.
I have
Yeah.
so many stories of lost footage. It's
Really?
Really?
dude, it is the worst. When the SD card or the red mag from the camera gets corrupted,
What do you do?
I cry.
Yeah.
And then sit there for hours on end trying to recover, which I do. You know,
Yeah.
and it doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes it's out of your control, bro. Sometimes it's just shit happens.
Yeah.
Technology, things fail. But when that happens, I freak out a little bit. So
Yeah.
now I've implemented a thing where after I shoot something for, you know, those first couple of hours, I'm instantly going to dump that footage
Save it.
onto the computer. And
Just
then
to make
we'll
sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
back it up and then everything. You know, just start on to the next one, dude.
How many different cameras do you have?
I have 3 right now. So
Okay.
I own a red camera. I don't know.
What
What
is
does
that?
that mean?
So that's a red cinema. A red cinema camera. Those go from $14,000 up to $15,000 or $50,000.
Jesus.
Actually.
And what is that?
And is that like
footage?
what you would shoot a movie with?
Yeah, it's a higher end productions. Definitely. That's those are the cameras that you see on Netflix.
Yeah.
Really?
All too.
Damn.
Is it your goal to shoot a film? And is that like the end goal?
The end goal, man, really is just to build up a very successful video production company that people can just look at and be like, oh man, I know who 1424 Media is. I love those guys.
Yeah.
Do you always want to be the guy doing the work, or is the goal to like hire staff and?
Well,
Yeah.
I want to get to a point where I have a team
Yeah.
on hand that I can be like, all right, here you go, just start dishing out things
Right.
here and there, you know, producing content and whatnot. I definitely like to direct a lot.
Yeah.
Directing is super fun for me because that's where you can focus the most of what's up here
Yeah.
and then put it on film, you
Yeah.
know? So, but yeah, to answer your question, the end goal would probably be to do a film, man, to
Yeah.
get on a full feature film.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sick.
bro. That is like, I want you guys to be like, yo, Pete,
Yeah.
and Nick, get up on there,
Yeah.
bro.
Coming
Come
soon.
and watch my shit, bro.
Hell
We
yeah.
should be an extra in one of these things.
That should be awesome, bro.
That would
That'd
be
be so
pretty cool.
fun.
Just get super fucked up and be in the background.
Just like holding, I don't know, a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah.
Some random shit.
Besides
love it.
paintball, what else do you like to do for fun?
Bro, honestly, video games, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not the type to go out and party, bro. I'm really not, man.
Introvert at heart?
Yeah, bro. You know, I like to be on the PC, bro. I'm playing my video
Yeah.
games and shit. and
What do you
that's-
play?
Everything. Right
Yeah.
now, it's been Battlefield, Halo Infinite, shit like that.
Have you tried VR yet?
I've got it, actually. That's
Yeah,
so
what do
funny
you
you
think?
mentioned that, bro. The Quest 2, I've got that shit.
I just
love
got
it.
one, dude. It's fucking
Dude, I love
nuts.
it. I love it.
Thing's
Whole different
crazy.
world. Whole different world. It's
Literally.
kind of a couple of weird people on that
Yeah.
shit, but
Yeah.
it's a whole different
Does it make you
world.
sick at all?
Dude, only after I eat.
Oh yeah.
It makes me dizzy as shit.
Yeah.
I can't play that after I eat.
The
Yeah.
first day I got it, I played for hours and was fine.
Oh,
And the next 2 days I tried to play, and after like 20 minutes, I was like, I gotta
yeah,
take
bro.
a break.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know what was different though. I don't know what I did.
It's weird,
Yeah.
but I like
But
it.
it's fucking
fun,
cool.
bro.
It's really cool.
It takes you away from the world a little bit, you know.
Do you think in 100 years we're all going to be living in this virtual reality?
No, I think it will be a lot more. What's the word I want? Prevalent? Is that
Relevant.
relevant?
Relevant.
Sure, yeah. I think it'll be a lot more relevant, even in like 10 years, in 5 years probably. I think almost everyone will have one in their house, I'd be willing to bet.
Okay.
I don't know that you'll be using it for even every day, but I think everyone will have one just because.
But this metaverse
cool.
logic of like logging in, like Wall-E, like logging in and you are that person in real life. Like, do you think that's coming in the next 100 years?
Well, I mean, it's almost like already showing signs of that, where I don't think. I mean, if what you mean is your only version of life is
like
living
literally
in VR, then no,
correct.
I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be people that only live in VR and like are in a fucking hospital bed that just keeps them alive while they're in their headset.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe when you turn like 90 years old or something and you're on your deathbed and instead of just being on a ventilator in a coma, maybe that's what they do or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool though if that's the case. But I don't think there's going to be like 20-year-old kids that are healthy and could be outside that just like lay in their bed and live in
but
only
there are
VR.
right now that do that.
That's
shit.
what I'm saying.
Like,
But they
they're
still have to
sitting
like
there-
get up and go to the bathroom and eat food and like. There's also kids that just sit on their
Right.
PC for
Right.
20 hours a
Right,
day and
right,
only
right.
eat, shit, and sleep, you know?
Right.
The fact that now you can have a VR headset, I don't think is the reason they're doing that. Those people were sedentary before VR was a thing.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Do you think there's a high though behind living this persona, like we call it these keyboard warriors? But like,
Yeah.
I think there's a.
But you just said it yourself. That term existed before VR because you were just a keyboard warrior. Now you can have an avatar and be a fucking avatar warrior. But that same dilemma existed before VR.
I think what's holding us back from making that big jump, though, which I hope we won't fucking do, but is the older generation. I think when you think about teenagers these days, all communication is done through fucking keyboards, right? You think about dating and relationships and all meetings and
Right.
Zooms and all this stuff is done virtually, where you could be this badass, this different person, this,
Yeah, it's a completely different world, man.
Exactly.
The cyber world is happening, whether we like it or not. It's
Yeah.
happening,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I just recently filmed an NFT course, and like the shit I learned from that, dude.
What is your opinion on it?
I don't know. I don't have enough information.
Yeah, right. That's how I feel.
I need to learn more about it because either you can come up big on it or you can fail miserably. So
Yeah.
it all depends. But
Yeah.
bro, the shit that I've learned from it, like, bro, cyber real estate, like,
That's what I'm saying. Like in the metaverse.
in the metaverse, all that extra shit. There's so much shit that
I just got an Instagram ad today from a guy trying to sell cyber real estate. It was like one of those Instagram
it's
ads where
real.
it's like some billionaire in his mansion talking to you about like how you can make residual income.
Right.
And the thing that he was selling was cyber real estate.
bro, it's real, man.
But I don't know if we're living in this boom where it's gonna fucking explode and everything's gonna fall. Because like in my mind, like what's backing that? What's backing that is money being poured into it. But my thing is like even with crypto that I have a decent amount of money in, like with Bitcoin and Ethereum and whatnot. I'm not going to fucking Starbucks and using a 0.0001 Bitcoin, you know? Like,
Right.
so
That's not-
while this
But
is
you've also seen over the last 2 years, slowly, some places you can. You can go and buy a
Right.
car at some places with your Bitcoin, or you can get some. There's places where you can buy things with Bitcoin,
Right.
and 2 years ago you couldn't.
yeah.
So in 5 years, maybe you do go to Starbucks and
Yeah.
you use 0.1110.
Some places are accepting Ethereum now, man.
Right.
It's
And with the trajectory that it's
insane.
going on, where like now everything's incorporating it slowly but surely, I think a lot of businesses will be like, oh, well.
But it's a worldwide
Okay,
thing.
why not?
You know,
Yeah.
it's a worldwide thing, and it's not something just happening here, bro. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
and
a
that's-
worldwide.
And I get like even with NFTs, non-fungible tokens, like yeah, you could have a digital art piece on your wall that has a CryptoPunk, and you know it's worth $250,000 and sick.
Yep.
And I know that's in the blockchain and that you own that, but I could still have a fucking I could have a digital fucking thing on the wall that has that same CryptoPunk. So I get that like the thought behind it, where on the blockchain I own this one of one piece. But for me, it's like, if I have a Pokemon card that's worth $1 million, I have that bitch, and it's me, it's in my safe, and I see it and I touch it.
Right.
And I get that. But if you're saying it's this theory and this logic that it's a one of one, how is it a one of one if I could have that one on one on my fucking wall?
It's a certificate, bro.
Yeah,
with
because
every NFT that you buy, you get a certificate. What it is the certificate. You hold this certificate. That's literally
The
what it
one.
is.
Because, like, okay, I think it was like Logan Paul or even Gary Vee that said this on Impulsive. You can have the Mona Lisa, right?
Yeah,
There's only one Mona Lisa.
correct.
You can buy a poster of the Mona Lisa and put it in your house, but you don't have the Mona Lisa. You've got a picture of the Mona Lisa in your house, but that yours is worth $3 and the Mona Lisa is worth whatever it's worth.
Right.
Because that's the original.
You don't have.
You
the
can take
Mona
a
Lisa.
screenshot of the NFTs that I own and say, yeah, look, I got a fucking dead donkey or whatever they're called, you know?
Yeah, right.
But you don't. You've just got a picture of mine. I've got the certificate that says I own this and this is what it's worth. Yours is worth nothing.
Sick. What I'm saying is, though, the Mona Lisa in the Louvre in Paris, people travel fucking millions of miles to go see that bitch so I see the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
If I could fucking pop up the Mona Lisa on my wall, what the fuck how's there value in the Mona Lisa? You know what I'm
You
saying?
just said the same thing, though. You can travel to Paris or wherever it is and go see the Mona Lisa. Or I could print it out on your printer right here, and I
But
can
it ain't
show
the
you
Mona
on your...
Lisa.
Exactly. So what's your question?
What you're saying is...
What
they-
if
I
I
can
hold
show
more
you
value?
if I own the
More
Mona Lisa
value.
NFT on my phone. You can travel to wherever I am, and I can show you the Mona Lisa NFT on my phone. Or you can Google the Mona Lisa NFT and look at it on your phone. But you're going to either see the original or you're going to see a picture of the original.
He made a good point, and listen, I get it, but he's saying that there's value in the certificate of owning it. I understand
That's
that.
literally-
My
that's
thing
it.
is,
Yeah.
I'm old school. There's value in seeing the motherfucker.
Right, physical.
And so with NFTs, there's really no value in seeing the motherfucker. It's the only
can see the
value.
certificate.
That's how.
I don't give a fuck about a certificate, Pete. All I care about is seeing the bitch, you know?
Yeah, I'll show it to you. You can see
Okay.
see a certificate.
Bro,
Like, what do you mean?
It's,
What do
it's
you
how
want?
you perceive it.
Because
honestly.
it's on a
Listen,
screen,
look.
it doesn't count. It needs to be.
No, dude.
What are you saying? I don't get it.
Yes.
I'll show you, but because it's on a screen, it doesn't count.
The fact that you can screenshot that bitch and send it to me, how is there value
So
in that?
you can print it out, and then it's a physical certificate. Now it counts.
I get, you're
That's
right.
stupid.
I get, okay, I admit, I understand where you're coming from. It's just,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said stupid, but that doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense, Pete. I just don't want to accept the fact that people are paying $1 million fucking dollars for a code, you know?
Bro, that's a cyber world.
People
baby.
also
Yeah.
pay $1 million
Except
when
whether-
someone just throws paint at a canvas and splatters it on
You
there.
know,
and
when you
everyone
get-
goes, "That's
You
fire."
get a bunch of guys that got a bunch of money and they're like, yo, let's just throw money into this shit and see how everybody reacts. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happens, bro. That is literally what happens. And now everybody's going ape shit crazy. Oh, no, I need I need this, I need that.
Yeah.
I'm going to price it at this. I'm going to value it at this. And now you've got a shit show,
Yeah.
basically.
And we've also got like this clout is like such a relevant term now that matters for some reason. Where you've got like these art pieces where like the end of your argument that I can sort of understand is where people are dumping a shitload of money into things that like aren't really that interesting looking. You know,
Yeah.
like they're like super pixelated,
Yeah.
poorly drawn images that have the value that they have because however that was determined, which again, like I don't have enough understanding of all this to really know how it ever got to be so expensive.
Neither
Yeah.
do I, bro. I don't know.
But
shit
for
about
some reason it's justified. That confuses me. You know, how there's like some of them are really well drawn and really cool looking and really intricate. And you can tell some artists probably spent a ton of time drawing this. Where there's others that look like
Yeah.
were drawn with like a left-handed person drew it with their right hand.
Yeah.
Bro, it's the same way they fucking duct tape a banana on
A
the
banana
wall.
on a wall.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
None of it
exactly.
fucking makes
That-
sense. But now here comes this one dude with a bunch of fucking money that has nothing else better to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw
I
money
like
on
this.
it. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
literally what it is. They're like,
So Gary Vee said something on Impulsive or Full Send. I
Full
can't
Send
remember which
podcast,
one.
yeah.
So talking about NFTs, he was saying it's definitely in like a boom right now.
Yeah.
And it's definitely abnormally popular and
Right.
abnormally trendy right now. And 98% of NFT projects will fail. But in 10 years, and we'll still be talking about NFTs every day.
Yeah.
Is his predictions. And Gary Vee like hasn't been
And-
wrong very often.
To the point, well, I guess I'm arguing against my original argument. I believe that too. Again, I do believe we're going in this world, like I said, the cyber world. I get it.
Right.
I guess I just like, I listen to my dad too much. The fact that like I can't see it. Why the fuck are you paying for that? You know. And but also
I'm
to
with
the,
you in that
also to
sense.
the
I
point-
don't get
makes
it.
complete-
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And like
Yeah.
after your point, yeah, Pete, I might go buy a quarter of an NFT. You know. But yeah, I'm sold, Pete.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, if it doesn't make sense to me, it doesn't make sense to me. And it's
Yeah.
still, I've watched all the videos on it. I watch these people talk about it. But maybe the reason they're making money is just because people are pouring more money into it. Or maybe that 4-pixel picture is selling for $250,000 because the hedge fund baby just said, fuck it, I'm going to bid $200,000 for this thing.
Well, that's why I brought up the
Literally.
clout
Yeah.
thing, because you see a lot of these super expensive NFTs are being backed or promoted by a celebrity with a lot of clout.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we were talking about it the other day where she's like, you know, I see all these people making money, like I just need to fucking draw something and like we got to get in on this. You
Yeah.
know,
That's
everyone's
literally
making
what
money.
people are doing.
Yeah.
That's
But it's like-
literally their mindset right now.
The thing that leverages a drawing and turns it into $1 million NFT is the person that's promoting it and marketing it, which is no different than like any other business. You can start anything really, and if you've got 1 million people that will listen to your business, you're probably going to have a pretty good head start versus the guy that has 1,000 followers on Instagram. So that's like the part that kind of I'm conflicted on is I don't get what makes them valuable other than just the person that vouches for it saying, I think this is dope.
Course.
And that seems to really be the only underlying factor.
I think what's crazy too is, I mean, we're both fans of like Logan Paul, and I think he's, from what I understand,
you guys like him?
I do. I used to hate him.
So
I used to hate him, and then I listened to his podcast starting 3 years ago, Impulsive, and he jumped on it like a year ago. And he's our age, and I think he's really matured from what you always see what's behind film. I
was pleasantly surprised because I wouldn't want to say like I was a hater before that because I don't really spend a lot of energy hating on many things. But I wasn't like a fan for sure. When people talked about him, I'd kind of roll my eyes and be like, "Oh yeah, that kid."
It's a part of the media.
Exactly.
It's the image that he definitely has, I think, for the most part, for people that haven't looked into him at any level. But once I started listening to him really talk, and like especially on his podcast, where I think he's like pretty transparent. Yeah. The kid's pretty smart and like very much more mature than like the world makes him out to seem.
And the point I'm getting to is like, these A-list celebrities, the Brad Pitts, the movie stars, right? And the next wave of generation, which I believe is going to be the Logan Pauls and shit. Mm-hmm. I think it's crazy, though, because the movie stars would have made $5 million on a hit film or whatever it was. These influencers that have high engagement and that influence are making tenfold that on these deals that they're doing. And I think it's crazy how much true influence that they fucking have. They really have the power of, if they pick up a brand, that brand is fucking flying, So. And like, you see Dave Portnoy, like sometimes he'll post on his social media, like, and that's why I love him for it. He'll pick like 2 weeks ago, he picked this random sangria place like in New Hampshire. And he's like, I love sangria, let me try it. The next day, the dude was sold out, So it's like, you talk about like influence and you're kind of like, oh, the Instagram influencers. These fucking people are making multi-million-dollar brand deals in their sleep, know?
That's like just what marketing is.
It's
just by their name. If they're holding something in their hand and you see it in the video, people are going to instantly just
jump to it.
Gravitate to it.
Full Send is launching an NFT project, I think, today. And they just announced yesterday that they started a Discord for like all their announcements for their NFT project. Mm-hmm. Their Discord crashed in like the first 15 minutes that it existed because 20,000 people tried to join the server in like the first 15 minutes.
And I think it's crazy because ultimately in this digital world we're living in, you feel like you're fucking friends with these people. Like you watch their videos, you listen to their podcasts, you watch them move and talk on film, and you're like, all right, bro. I've hung out with him more than my fucking friends this week, So it's like, so in reality, it's the wave that's coming. We can't fight it. If you're someone who isn't on the wave, find a tangible skill that's not going anywhere. I'm in construction. I don't think that's going anywhere. No. Robotics. But
trades don't die.
No, but they said, I heard this statistics about like 2040, like 55% of jobs are going to be automated, and I think it's crazy to think that. Like I saw a video of a girl in San Francisco the other day where the server was a robot. And literally the server came up. She hit a few buttons, the thing went in, took the food out, and people are like, sick, I don't have to tip anyone anymore,
Right.
And so...
Is that what that means? Do you think there is no tip at the end?
If it's a fucking robot, I guess not.
But I bet they still ask you when you check out.
Well,
for gratuity?
I'm a little torn. Okay, so I was really conflicted on whether I wanted to talk about this on the podcast or not. And I'm still, even as I'm talking about it, I don't know if I really want to dive into it. But we sort of need to, I think. I know a ton of people that watch this podcast are from the service industry. And myself, prior to tattooing, service industry for like the last 8 years.
Right.
I understand gratuity. I understand tipping. If anything, I'm an over tipper. Every time I go out, anywhere I go, over tip. I'm not downplaying tipping by bringing this topic up. I just want to preface with that.
Yeah.
But now it seems everywhere you go, the credit card processor is like defaulted to gratuity at the end, where like every food service place, or I don't even want to limit it to food service or even use the word service because now it implies like gratuity should be included.
But like Chipotle.
It was the first thing that like sparked this thought in my head, where I'm still torn on it because at Bolé, at least there's a person that you're talking to on the other side of the counter that's going, what would you like, and then puts it in your bowl. At least someone's talking to you. And then like, do they get the same 20% that the server at a restaurant who like waits on you and does all the work?
Dude,
is that justified?
No, I ask sometimes. I even ask. I'll ask them across the counter, like, "Are you getting this money if I tip you?"
Yeah.
And that's a good question also.
Or is this being taken off of,
from the top?
Right.
But we went to, I think it was BurgerFi the other day, and it's an automated system. You order from a computer. There's no one there's no servers, no one's like talking to you or greeting you, whatever. And then at the end, when you go to check out, it asks you to tip. And I was like, I mean, I hit fucking 20% and tipped 20%, but then I looked at JoJo and I was like, that felt weird, right?
Where's it going?
Like, who? And there's a guy that brought our tray out to our table, because we have a number on our table and they brought the food over. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that maybe it goes to him. But like, at the same time, it seems a little weird that like now it's just become a standard that when you check out with your credit card, it's like, how much do you want to tip? And society has kind of trained us that you're a dick if you don't tip when it's an option,
Right.
I think an easy answer to that, not easy, but an easy justification is like hospitality workers in a bar, restaurant, whatever, they're getting paid like $4.25 an hour.
And that was the next conversation, was like, I wonder, what does these guys get
So
paid?
I think legally, if you're not serving someone something, you have to get paid minimum wage. There's no way BurgerFi
Is
people
not paying those guys
does at least
$8
minimum
an
wage,
hour,
But it's interesting because like I was in Minnesota where my fiance's family's from, and the minimum wage for hospitality is $10. So as a server,
you get $10 an hour plus tips?
$10 an hour plus tips. But what's funny is you see a direct correlation in the service.
Really?
Oh, they don't give a fuck. No, I'm not gonna say they don't give a fuck.
Because they don't need the tips.
But if they're weeded,
they're
they're like, I'm not sweating over this. I'm still making $10 an hour. When I went to France, servers there get $15 to $20 an hour. You sat down maybe 30, 40 minutes, and they'll come over and say, okay, what would you like to eat?
It directly reflects
the
the service,
Wow.
So I think and that's the way I would direct it is like, it's case by case, but if I know someone's busting their ass, then I tip directly to that. If someone's making minimum wage, like with the bole, stuff like that, I'll usually do like 10% or something like that. Right. And like, hey, you're a high schooler, take my money, take a few bucks. It's not going to hurt anything.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, now that I think about it, like, now that we're getting into more of the digital age, right? The future.
Right.
Where are the blue-collar workers going in, like,
they're not there, dude. There's a huge lapse in my industry, bro. Yeah. There's not there.
What's going on, man?
It's scary. We're all the same age-ish. Right. I mean, how many guys are carpenters, masonry guys, plumbers, electricians? I know 3 from like my 1,000 Facebook friends, and it's scary. Like a part of me is like, yeah, sick. It's going to be a monopoly in 10 years for me. I'm going to be, the only contractor in South Florida, whatever. Right. A part of me is like, this is not good because there's no work, and in reality, I talk about it all the time, but a lot of these people think that we need to send these illegals out. My thing is, no, you need to make them legal, because if we send all the illegals out, there's no construction being done. Yep. These high rises going up, these communities going up. My thing is, if you want their income to be taxed, make it easier process for them to become citizens. I think everyone should be paying, their fair share. But if we kick them all out, boy, there ain't gonna be no work being done. It's not that. I feel like the process, to make someone a citizen and get that tax is such a drawn out process. Where if you want them to expedite the process and pay their fair share fairly fast, we had to expedite it. We have to
make it easy.
Exactly.
Like that's really what it comes down to.
But the last question I have on the service thing is, if you have a horrible server who is a dick to you and doesn't give a shit, are you still
giving him 20?
You're still giving him 20%?
I feel like it almost sticks it to him a little bit to like
wake the fuck up,
because they I think at some point during the service, if they're doing a real bad job, they probably know that they're doing a pretty bad job, and they've also probably written off that table like, oh, these guys aren't gonna fucking tip me. I dropped the ball on them. When you still tip 20%, I feel like it like reinforces to them like, damn, there's good people out there. Like next time I won't give up on that table. I should try to recover. I should try harder. Where like if you then just dog them and don't give them a tip or give them a shitty tip, they'll be like, see, I'm glad I didn't pay them any attention.
Well, I feel like that's a hit or miss too, bro.
Correct.
Totally.
There's people that care about what they do, and there's people that just
don't.
For sure. Morally, in my head, I'm just leaving the 20% anyway. Just like at BurgerFi, I didn't even fucking see a person around, but I was like, all right, and tipped anyway because I was like, this is what I think I'm supposed to do.
Now, how does that work as a bar manager with, say, bartenders, for instance? They're all pulling, right?
Yeah.
And you have one shitty bartender that's consistently shitty.
That's a manager problem at that point.
Okay, I'm about to say, yeah. So that's directly to management.
Yeah, I mean, in a place, I love bars that pool. I've always loved working at bars that pool. I like managing bars that pool, especially because you can really pull anyone to do anything because it's everyone's. You never get the response like, "Oh, that's not my job."
Yeah.
Right.
Because we're all in this together. It's a team effort, and I mean, at any restaurant, whether they pool or not, I think you would admit the best environment is the one that operates as like a team effort.
Yeah, of course.
And what's going to promote a team effort more than all of our money is the same money.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of pooling, but then it really comes back on the manager to make sure your staff is on point, because as soon as someone's slacking, the other 8 employees or however many people are going to let you know that person's not pulling their weight, and like, I don't want to fucking share my money with them.
Shit,
that
makes sense, bro, because
it works in the opposite way. Now you don't have this fucking family anymore. Right. It's like us against them. So then it comes back to the manager. You got to make sure your staff's on point.
It's tough. We're all young entrepreneurs, but you've managed, and you run your company, and you have your subcontractors and whatnot that film and whatever your stuff, and me as a contractor, I have my subs that do that. It's very hard being, as I'll say, as young as we are, but as youthful as we are, talking to people in that management sense of like, it's very uncomfortable, and it's hard to like. I wish I had that not dick switch in my body, but like that switch of like. That wasn't right.
I think I've got it. I don't have that complex.
Really?
Yeah, no problem.
And I think it's a blessing. Like, is that hard for you?
It's really not, bro. Once I see that somebody's just not at the same level as I am, just
and that's the thing. It's never unjustified. I have no problem saying things that, like, you deserve to hear.
Right.
If I'm firing somewhere and I'm having a difficult conversation with an employee. It's probably because I'm a nice dude, and like I've given you plenty of hints that you need to switch this act up or you need to change what you're doing. And if it gets to the point where we're having a sit down, it was coming, and you probably knew it. And like I don't have any complex saying what I need to say because I've set you up for success to do what you need to do. And as long as I've done that, then like
I always say, bro, like you're a grown ass adult.
Yeah,
you know what needs to get done.
Yeah,
at the end of the day. That's what I tell anybody that I work with if they fail to get something done or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Like you and I are grown-ass adults at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. You have responsibilities. Get it done. It is what it is. Yeah. And that's really how I come across.
Right. Are you a perfectionist?
I try to be, man, but I feel like it's a little unhealthy sometimes. Because one, you waste time, and then you start to become obsessive, and it's like
it's hard because in my line of work too, we talked about it, like I guess all of our lines of work, like with a tattoo, he could do a tattoo and it's subjective to like someone saying, ooh, that's good, and ooh, that's not good. Like you can make a video and like someone can say, wow, that's the best video I've ever saw, and you're like, that's not my best work, like. So when you're editing and producing something, where's that line where you're like, okay, that's it, this is it?
I have you got to turn it in on within a certain
time
deadline.
You have deadlines. So like if I have time that I can sit here and sit on it for however many days, I will. But if I need to get this shit in by tomorrow, it needs to be done. It is what it is. I'll do my best. I'll look over it a couple of times, make sure there's no errors. But then boom, we get it out and turn it in.
Do you send it to a review team to kind of look at or do a once over on it?
It's more of just the client. You look at it. I'll have maybe my brother come over and look at it. My parents look at it, get their ideas or whatnot. And then obviously the client always has their feedback.
Yeah.
But it's it's really what you think and what you come up with.
How do you deal with constructive criticism? Because I find myself sometimes being hard with constructive criticism because I guess I know how much I put my heart into it. Yeah. My dad was my boss and I were partners in our construction company, and it's interesting because that constructive criticism, we all have our flaws, but like sometimes it gets to me, because it's like we all have strengths and weaknesses, right? And if you only point out my weaknesses, I know I fucking have those weaknesses, So at what point is it constructive criticism? And at what point is it like, listen, it is what it is, and it's hard. How do you deal with that?
So I have this thing, man. It's like constructive criticism is you're there to learn from that, right? So like
constructive.
Yeah, exactly. Are you don't be an asshole to me.
Right.
Let me learn from whatever. Right. Like give me feedback so I can learn from it. Don't be an asshole and talk down on me. Because then that's not constructive criticism. That's literally being an asshole.
Yeah. Right. I think that's the key thing right there is when it stops being constructive and when stops
I'm totally
being
open
important.
Yeah.
to receiving constructive
Correct.
criticism,
Right.
bro. I mean, that's what the industry's all about.
Yeah.
But don't start being an asshole about it and being like, bro, this is garbage. Like, do it again. Like,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Tell me what's wrong. What needs to be corrected.
Right.
And with this, like I said, subjective opinions to your work, do you have like clauses in your contracts with these clients to say, hey, like, it's my final product, you're taking it? Or like if they give you reviews and edits, at what point is it this is the final product?
So usually, yeah, we give them two revisions.
Okay.
So we'll send them the first draft. All right, maybe some corrections need to be done. Boom, that's the first revision. All right, they got a little bit more. That's the second revision, and then that's it. Anything
Okay.
more than that, there's going to be additional charges.
Yeah.
I like that.
Put it on, bro. Because if not, people take advantage, bro. I've learned, man. I've had people take advantage of that shit when I didn't have that in the contract
Right,
or
right.
contracted it at all.
Yeah, right.
When I first started, dude, and it got bad. It got nasty.
Yeah. And the last thing on constructive criticism, and I would say when it comes to everything in life, it's how you deliver it, you know. And I
Right.
find that like whenever I'm delivering sometimes not easy information to deliver, I'll always start off with a positive. Like, hey,
Right.
Have you heard of the compliment sandwich?
absolutely. You
Right,
start with a
right.
compliment, yeah, with a compliment, and in
Right.
the middle.
Right.
And I think my dad's so blue collar, fucking been doing construction for 40 years. It's like, Nick, that was shit, you know? And and it's hard because whenever I hear that, I'm just like, why the fuck am I even trying?
Do you think
Right.
that your dad would have the exact same criticism verbiage to someone that wasn't his son versus when he talks to you, or do you think he's extra hard on you?
No,
'cause
I'm the coach's son who
Yeah,
he fucking, you know,
'Cause,
goes
like,
out, yeah.
for constructive criticism, like I can remember when I was a kid and my dad was a coach,
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it from him. When
Yeah.
he would yell at me, I'd like fucking shut down and break down and want to
Yeah.
cry.
Right.
Another coach could rip me and I would just be like, okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir, you know, and like listening to what he said and like apply it. If my dad yelled at me, it like
That's
hit
why
me different.
family business complex is so complex because you know he knows what fucking pisses me off. You know,
Right.
and I know the same about him. You know, if I really want to get under his skin, so it's like I try to explain to him all the time. It's like, Dad, I guess I'm a sensitive bitch in a certain extent, but like, hey, yo, Nick, you worked your ass off. You fucking tried. The next time I would just switch this, and this.
Right.
Continue learning, but that's what I would say.
Right.
I would take that and fucking run 100 miles
Yep.
with it.
Yep.
But if you look at me and say, Nick, that's shit, you got to fix it. I'm like, fuck,
Bro,
dude.
I'm
Like
the
that's,
same way, man.
you know?
And like clients will be like that sometimes. I'll
Yeah.
be like, okay, well, what do you want to fix?
Yeah,
What
exactly.
needs to get
That's not
done?
what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not what I was thinking.
The fuck were you thinking then,
maybe
man?
go a different direction. Okay, what direction?
Right,
What-
yeah,
Come on, man. Like, give me something.
You can't
Yeah.
be vague.
No,
And
no.
And I don't think it's a generational thing. I do think it's a generational thing in the fact that like our
Yeah.
parents' generation was like that, and I think that's why
Right.
there's so many things got, you know, torn up. And I'm not saying I want a participation trophy. All I'm saying is you have to be specific in what you want
Right.
and tell me what you want. And maybe that comes down to our school system and the way we were raised, how, you know, you had a syllabus and you have to, you know, X, Y, Z about things to do.
Right.
But I'm a very thing where like whenever I start a project, I lay it all out. I see what I have to do, and then I hit the marks. Boom, 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 boom. And then when it's done, you know. But it's that layout that's hard. One of your original points you made when I asked why you wanted to do your own thing was like, I want it to work for myself.
Yep.
And it was interesting. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I said, I like doing and working for me because there's no ceilings to what I could do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I think that's the biggest point is like, for anyone who's looking to go down their own avenue, whether it's a side project or a side business or a different, you know, thing of income, and it's like, understand that there's going to be a lot of pressure on you, and you truly never, you know, like, it's cliche, but like, Pete will never have time off because sometimes he'll get text at 12 a.m. and it's like, yo, bro, can you tattoo me in a week? And like, he'll look at that at 12 a.m. and be like, I'll answer it tomorrow.
Right.
But if he wants to make what he wants to make next year and his goal, he has to answer that right then. So it's tough because you get these bones thrown ahead of you and you're like, okay, are you going to take the bone? And it's how high do you want to push that ceiling? And I think that's what is exciting behind it. And that high we get from it is because ultimately, if I want to make $250,000 this year, motherfucker, it's up to me to make $250,000 this year,
Right.
you know?
There's no limitations.
There's no
man.
limitations.
How hungry are you? You want to go and get that shit? Go get it.
Go
man.
get it,
That's
man.
how I wake up every day and I'm like, man, fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
even when waking up late, dude, like waking up late for me, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the afternoon, like, dude, I'm wasting my fucking day. Bro.
Yeah.
I want to be up early and I want to start eating, man.
Exactly.
That's really what it comes down to.
And I think that momentum and that hunger for more is what pushes regular people to become extraordinary, you know, and it pushes people that started with nothing at a gym job to be producing the biggest music videos in the world, you know. It's hard though, because we had just talked about on the last podcast that work-life balance, and like for you, is there a certain point where like, listen, I made $250,000 this year, I'm cool cruising on this year to year, or do you find yourself with the personality of like, that's never enough, I have to hit more?
Never satisfied.
Really?
Never satisfied. Always want to get more. Always want to achieve what I did, you know, more than what I achieved last year.
Do you find it hard to achieve a work-life balance with that mindset?
Bro, sometimes it's either work or go hungry.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's really what it is, dude. It is a little hard for me to balance it because, like, either I'm not working, so I'm not eating tonight, or whatever, go out and party and say fuck it. Like, it does get hard, man. It really does get hard. But I'm 24. Like, fucking get it now so I can live the rest of my life.
Exactly.
I had like that same thought as you were just saying what you were saying, and like we talked about work-life balance a lot on the previous episode we just did, and a point that we didn't make that I think is worth bringing up is like, you shouldn't feel bad if you don't have work-life balance now. And like to the point that you were making, that the guy told you in the sauna, that you may never achieve work-life balance. Right. I think the goal should definitely be to eventually achieve it, but there's going to be a long process and campaign of building a business and building and developing what you're doing before you achieve that balance. Like the end goal is to have the work-life balance, I feel like. And then that's when you can kind of put it on autopilot and cruise. But there's going to be a lot of years and a lot of time of building and developing your business to get to that point of balance, you know? So like what you were saying to the point of, you know, what if your goal is to make $200K this year, $250,000 this year, and it's going to be really hard to balance, you know, your time off and your days off and relaxing with that goal. That's true. But to get yourself to a point where you're making $250,000 a year, you know, the next year that $250,000 will come easier. You know, if the goal doesn't go up, that same number will come easier. And you've built your business, you know, you've marketed your business for a whole year being at that level of $250,000 business a year.
I feel like for a company, like the end goal is for it to make its
automation.
Automation, right. Yeah. And that is really once it becomes automated is when the work-life balance starts to come. But it's going to take a long time to get to that point. You don't start a business and automate it on the first day.
Man. Absolutely not.
I'm torn because yes, but I think that's a myth or a dream. I don't think, like, if I make $250,000 this year, putting in X amount of effort, next year it's not going to be easier. I still have to put X amount of effort. Maybe I'm more numb to that effort because that expectation is lower, and I have a standard. I think every year your standard is raised, but I don't think the effort declines.
Let's talk about, like we talked about, we don't have to say numbers, but we talked about your business this year and that you've already secured one huge job. And you really only want to secure one more huge job, and you'll be good for the year.
Correct.
Say you secure that job next month, and now you're booked for the whole year. Anyone that inquires about a job for the rest of the year is now going on next year's calendar.
Correct.
So you might have your entire year booked for next year before this year's even done.
Correct.
Right. So this whole, whatever stress that you have as far as acquiring clients or whatever, in 2 years, maybe you're booked 5 years in advance.
Yeah.
So now you're not even doing client acquisition anymore. Everyone's coming to you because you've been doing these $250,000 jobs every year. And that's the word of mouth you have. Instead of people saying, oh, yeah, he did a really good job on my $20,000 bathroom. Yeah. It's he did a really good job on my $1 million condo.
Right.
And they're telling all their friends with $1 million condos. So I do think it gets easier every year. As long as you've got the pedal down and you're growing the business every year, the next year should be easier, in theory. It's not a guarantee, of course. Sometimes you fuck up a job, and then you lose clients, and now you lost money, and now it's fuck, you know?
It's a 50-50 thing, man.
And I think I think with our mindset we'll be okay because we're hungry people, but I think a lot of people, they'll get a break or they'll get like, for instance, I could get this one big job this year.
And then take 3 months off.
And then take 3 months off, and then it slips, you know?
But that isn't balance either, you know? That's where, okay, you won't ever achieve the work-life balance because you took, okay, I made this fat amount of money, now I'm just going to chill for however long I'm going to chill for until I need money again. Yeah. That isn't balance either. Just because you're like comfortable and chilling, that isn't what work-life balance is. Yeah. Work-life balance is giving enough entertainment to the financial side of work, the relaxing side of life, your family, so that all three areas feel equally fulfilled, you know? Like work-life balance doesn't mean shutting off work and relaxing. You know what I mean?
Right,
and as long as
right,
you've
right.
got that balance in place, then it should be sustainable long term.
Yeah.
But you're talking about extremes, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if I make all this money and then I take 3 months off, then I'm going to be in trouble financially.
Yeah.
But that's not what balance is. You know?
Yeah. And I guess I'm not a balanced person. We talk about it all the time.
I suck at it, bro.
I'm
not good at it, man.
I'm either getting better or I'm getting worse. I never stay stagnant. And it's tough for me because that's my personality. You know, I'm either I'm a quick buyer, I'm a quick to it. I make decisions fast and I either get burned by it or it's great for me. But I am very fast, go. And it's tough because ultimately I don't know if I will ever be that guy with balance. I might be 100 miles an hour, then 20 miles an hour, then 100 miles. You know, I don't know. It's going to be always something that I chase, but it's interesting because for me, I don't know if it's ever attainable. The last thing I'll say on it, though, is I heard this quote from Kobe Bryant, and I think it's so true, is I think the dream is the day-to-day. I think the dream, everyone pictures this life of like, you picture the dream of you fucking on a Justin Bieber music video, directing it, getting paid, you know, seven figures to do it, whatever. But I think the dream is showing up every day in today's world and grinding, because that is the dream. Right? The dream is cultivating it. The dream is manifesting it. The dream is putting the parts together and making something out of it. He said, I was living my dream every day, waking up at 6 a.m. and getting to the basketball court. That was the dream in itself. We live in this fairy tale world where like the dream is the top of the mountain. Or like if you're an NFL player winning the Super Bowl, that's one fucking night.
Right.
You know, you're going to live your entire existence for fucking 12 hours of winning the Super Bowl. I think people need to fall in love with the process in the day-to-day, or you will be miserable your entire life chasing this thing that's going to be so finite.
I agree, man.
You know,
I agree.
And if you don't love the process, then fucking switch what you're doing because you're going to be a miserable fuck, you know?
Yep.
And find that balance between being successful and being fulfilled and try to find that interconnect of whatever that is for you.
I feel like what you just said is really... like the way I see is loving the day-to-day is almost the same thing as the only way you'll do that is if you have a decent work-life balance.
See, so
how are you going to love the process if, like, you know, you're burning yourself out on one of those ends of the spectrum, you know?
But I think what the fairy tale is loving the process means I'm going to wake up, you're going to wake up every day and be like, yeah, today's fucking tattoo. And you're going to wake up every day and be like, oh, I can't wait to edit, you know? Yeah. No, the process is waking up fucking 25, 30, 40% of the time being like, fuck this, dude. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to because it's part of the process. You have to start to love the agony and the pain of the bullshit little tasks you have to do of cleaning and doing it.
Honestly, bro, I have never heard it like that, dude.
You know,
that's a hard sell in my mind.
I've never heard, and I like it, to be honest with you.
Because
you gotta love that shit.
You
man.
have to, bro.
I understand what you're saying. I just think you're gonna have a hard time convincing other people you gotta love the shitty things.
But there's shitty things to every. I mean,
it's all a part of it.
I could show you the most beautiful fucking relationship in the world, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be days you wake up and like, dude, your breath smells. You're fucking annoying me today. What the fuck am I doing, right?
And that's supposed to be your favorite part, though.
No, what I'm saying is you have to learn to love those parts or deal with them because you'll never fucking get the big picture if you don't deal with that, right? Mm-hmm. Those days you wake up with, I'll say the relationship with your partner and you're like, dude, I'm not feeling this today. You have to sit back and say, listen, this is a me problem. I'm going through some shit, whatever. This is okay because I see the big picture and I understand what I'm chasing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But if you wake up and you're like, oh, this is annoying me today, fuck it, I'm out of this relationship. You're never going to work, right?
Bro, yeah.
So you could jump on editing videos and you could be on a high for 3 months. You could book 3 big profile clients and you could be on a high. And then after those 3 months, it's annoying bullshit work you have to do. And if that bullshit work hits you and you're like, I'm out, then that dream is gone in a second. You have to learn to deal with the bullshit because
dealing with the bullshit and loving the process are two different things, though.
I think it's the same thing. Because
it's
the bullshit,
all a part of it. They're both the same thing, bro. Like, what, you know?
Dealing with the bullshit and loving the process, though?
I think loving the process is dealing with the bullshit.
Because there's always bullshit of everything.
Right, you're going to have to deal with the bullshit. I just think it might be a little unrealistic to think you have to love the bullshit.
I feel like more of you have to accept it.
Like that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, right.
Accept it.
I think maybe love was just the wrong word then.
Right. So
Embrace.
It's gonna be
you
a
have,
part
you
of
have,
it.
you have to embrace
Sure,
it, right?
yes.
If you're at the gym and you're straining your muscles trying to build muscle and work out, you have to accept and embrace the fact that this is sucking, but it's making me better, and that struggle is making my brain build calluses, right? You have to accept that.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people are fucking soft and weak, and they get that embrace.
As soon as they hit a hurdle, they give up.
They give up.
Bro, because everything wants to be given.
That's right.
Fuck that, man. You
You
got
know?
obstacles you got to attain and go over.
Exactly.
You got to get it. You got to get it.
Absolutely.
That's why I always say I wake up hungry, man. There are days where I'll have a 12-hour production, come home, have to edit, so I'm editing through the night, wake up the next morning early for another day, for another full production day. I'm fucking tired. But at the end of the day, I fucking love it. Yeah. I love it, bro.
And that's why I understand why these people who have busted their ass and really cultivated something have this confidence and swagger to them, because they understand what has gone into them, or what has gone into the process. Right. And like when people try to listen, I think Amazon's going to take over the world, and that scares the fuck out of me. And people try to roast Jeff Bezos. I get it. But the motherfucker started as a creepy little old fuck in his garage 20 years ago. No one believed in him. He was selling weird books on Amazon, and that was it. Now the dude's worth $200 billion. So you have to look at the whole picture and be like, hey, it's an entire process, and you can't judge someone off the rip. And he deserves to have that swagger because he built this motherfucker,
I agree, man. You can't take away somebody's fucking grind, bro.
No. There's such a high when you look at something. I think that's why people say when they have children, their life changes. It's because you look at it and you're like, dude, literally without me, that thing wouldn't be there. Right. That's literally me. And a company is a baby. It's a child. It's a part of you, right? And when you sit back, and I know you grind, 24/7, but when you sit back and you smell the roses and you really say, holy fuck, I did this thing,
I can't though sometimes.
But man, I think you really need to, brother, because going at 7,000 RPMs, you're going to burn your engine out. Yep. Or you're not going to sit back and say, holy fuck, I was going fast. That was amazing. That was sick.
But you weren't able to enjoy it.
You weren't able to enjoy it because really, ultimately, what is the point? You have to sometimes, and that doesn't mean you need to go out and party and black out, but sit back and what I like to do sometimes when I get stressed out about the podcast, but I like to go back and watch old episodes and look at the wall and see all the guests we've had on and be like, damn, we did this bitch, we're doing this
still
bitch.
Doing it.
And it's really cool to be like, hey, without my mind, without Pete's mind, this never would have happened, right? They would be watching another podcast or listening to something else, and the fact that we did this, it's on us, we did that, So I think there's something so powerful in looking and watching something and saying, I created that.
It comes back to loving the bullshit in the process and everything that comes. Go right back to that whole process. It's all a part of it, man. It's all a part of it.
Now, when you look at the next 5 years, what do you see? What are the next steps for you?
The next steps, man, like I said, is to own my own place, maybe open up a studio, and just grow the business. Grow the business. At 24, I don't know really where I'm going to see myself 5 years from now, but I do want to just grow.
Well, you're wise beyond your years, man. I'll give you that. I would not have said you're 24, really.
Yeah. I'm really trying, man. I give thanks to my parents. They fucking raised me. God bless them, dude. Because I was horrible as a kid. But they did it.
What is your nationality?
I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican.
Do you speak Spanish?
I understand it, bro. But I can't hold full conversations. I know it's bad, but it's whatever. But yeah, man, my parents did a damn good job with raising me, man, and I can't give enough thanks. I cannot. But for the next 5 years, it's definitely own some property, open up a studio, and just keep fucking banging, man. Keep banging. Do
you like Latino women? Do you like white women? Or what?
I like Latino. Latino women are my thing, man. Yeah, I've never been with a white girl, so I don't know. But yeah, man, Latino women are kind of my ordeal. Hourglass figures.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Well, guys, that was an insight of Caleb Fernandez's life and how he got to where he is today. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and hearing about his story. If you want to do anything with production or filming or the whole process of it, or it's something you want to get into, contact him. We'll put his information in our bio, and he'll, I think, feel free to answer any questions you have. He's obviously passionate about
Absolutely,
it. Your studio company is called
1424 Media.
1424 Media. If you have a wedding, a music video, or anything in between you guys want to shoot, please contact him for that. And that is the Millennial Mentality, guys. This is Caleb Fernandez.
Peace.
That was awesome, man.
That shit cute like my links, but I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Rather flip a boat, nigga, I still serve a zip. I remember being broken, I was down bad on my dick. And she used to call me Ollie, now let shawty let me hit. Wait, well maybe it's just Polly, got a nigga confident. Remember all them dreams that I had when I was legit. They're like, yeah, I love the streets, but I'm still gon' go legit. Cause you know I need that German with that brand new fucking tip. Fell in love with them foreigns, watching a nigga Euro step. Got me feeling like I'm hardened, cause I'm plugged in with the ref. Like if you touch me wrong, you might get hit with this tech. Let them birds fly like a nigga causing rest. And I swear they broke my heart when I seen them. But that shit, it made me strong, now I'm right back on my best. Like bitches, leave me alone, why I get linked on this tech. Like little bitches, leave me alone, unless you gonna try that neck. Like little bitches, leave me alone, unless you talking about a check. Boy, deuces out of soda, turn it over, watch it sing. Yeah, sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Boy, deuces out of soda, turn it over, watch it sing. Yeah, sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Yeah.